Well, there's always things to talk about with Auglaize County, and here to talk about that is Erica Preston, Auglaize County Administrator. So welcome, Erica.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me, as always.
All right. So, yeah, of course. So, all right. So give us some updates on what's being planned, you know, especially for the summer months now.
Absolutely. So most of the time you think of spring cleaning, but I'm thinking our theme for the summer is going to be summer cleanup because we have lots of demolition and brownfield grants going on. So I think we have 6 of those. So what that's supposed to lead to is revitalization and redevelopment for the county. So we're super excited that we just yesterday learned that we got the 3rd brownfield grant that we've been talking about, been waiting on, and that's for the former Auglaize Acres nursing home demolition. So the reason it qualified for brownfield is because the building is older. It has asbestos that needs to be abated and removed before that building could be taken down. So we were excited to get the call from the state, see the press release come out that I know you guys issued last night for us, excited for that. So that's a little over $1 million. And then the county does have to match with a 25%. So that whole project is about $1.3 million that we'll have to be using for the acres.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in that building, of course, you know, and I know a lot of people had about, I talked to you about, I had a relative that was there, and it's kind of sad to see it go, but like you said, it was outdated. You know, it needs to be cleaned up, and something new will be built there eventually.
So those are the steps that are being put in place now, and we're really getting close to, you know, once the demolition happens, then there's a purchase agreement in place for a new facility to come in, buy the real property from the county, and then build a new facility where we will have the same kind of use there, but again, redevelopment for the county, for the area, new job creation. So it really hopefully will be a win-win, even with that history that we're losing. Right,
and it'll be good for the relatives that do go there, so they'll be better taken care of.
Absolutely, and they will. And we have a couple other like redevelopment type projects like that happening. Right now, Waukpok is the one that kind of sees most of them. So we have 2 demolition projects happening within the city limits. So the old stockyards that are right beside the railroad track in Waukpok are coming down, which will allow for redevelopment. There's not a concrete redevelopment purposes or plans in place right now for that one. And then the silos, the grain silos that are right beside kind of a commercial development currently, those will come down, allow for expansion. There's a hair salon right there. So we're really, you know, excited that we're going to see new growth in the area, hopefully, from all these activities. Yeah,
it's kind of like what you said about the spring cleaning. When I think of spring, I think of new life. You know, that's kind of like what it is. You know, things come out of the ground, you get new life coming out of the ground, and that's the same thing of what you're doing now. So you're taking away, you know, the old stuff that needs to be replaced, and then something new and vibrant can emerge. So that's exciting.
And I think you've hit it spot on, because that's what the state wants, right? That's why we're getting grant money, because we're going to be revitalizing new and vibrant.
Yeah, so anything else you can kind of like let the cat out of the bag?
I don't know that there's any cats out of the bag that need to come, but we are right now, a long-term employee at the Solid Waste District, our Solid Waste District Coordinator has announced his retirement. One of our Board of Elections individuals has announced her retirement. So we're going to be replacing some of those key individuals. So that's kind of a target and a goal for us, is to use the summer months to really fill those positions and make sure, you know, we're fully staffed and ready to go in Auglaize County so that we can continue to provide those good services. And as you know, those things take time, so those are kind of some of our summer activities and plans. Yesterday, we just had our ribbon cutting on our construction at the Law Enforcement Center. So I would like to say we're ready to, like, you know, actually put people in there or that space be occupied, but we're really close on our like punch list items. So that's a huge project. It's been going on technically since 2021. So finishing it up.
That's a long time. Yeah, so that's very exciting. You know, it seems like there's always something new and exciting happening within Auglaize County, and you know, from when I was younger to, you know, now, like the growth that has come along has been really tremendous and exciting to see. So you guys are doing a wonderful job. So keep up the great work.
We like to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
All right, well, don't go away, because medical news is coming up next.